Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But Dalvin Cook's best game of 2019 came against these Packers. It was in Week 2 early in the season, but he had 154 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Well, his Vikings actually wound up falling 21-16 at Lambeau. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, how you parse it. Adam Thielen continues to be an absolute marvel, coming from where he did, Division III football, to being one of the top receivers in the NFL. But it's going to be vital for the Vikings in 2020 to keep number 19 on the field, especially since he lost his old running mate Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. And a hamstring injury last year really held his numbers in check. His lowest receiving yardage since 2015. Look for another breakout from Adam Thielen after plays like that.
12 yards there and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And it's caught inside the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And goal.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Packers 7, Vikings nothing.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Brings up 4th down and goal.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tajay Sharp there to make the grab. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
And we remind you, lots more to come here in this opening weekend of the Return to Football 2020. Coming up later tonight, it's the national debut of SoFi Stadium in Southern California. The Cowboys and the Rams doing battle there. And then 2 more to finish off the week on Monday Night Football. The Steelers and Giants from MetLife Stadium and the Titans and Broncos from Mile High. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again. Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One of the underrated aspects of Devontae Adams' game is his toughness. He had to battle his way through injury last year, and while his numbers may have dipped, he was still the #1 target for the Green Bay Packers and their quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and still one of the best receivers in the league. Constantly works on his footwork, constantly works on how he gets away from defenders in order to get open. He's a guy that number 12, his quarterback, trusts implicitly.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
So many times someone's success is the product of a lot of things coming together really well. And for Aaron Jones in 2019, it all came together for him. He stayed healthy, was on the field for all 16 games, got handed the ball 100 more times last year, and as an end result, broke 1,000 yards in a season rushing for the first time in his career. Good catch by Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and that's something that his teammates needed to see and something he needed for himself. They call him MVS, and they want him to become an MVP type of a receiver.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That's Anthony Barr coming in from his linebacker spot to bring him to the ground.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. The left side throw complete to Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
First down, Packers.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's third and short.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And he's got and he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. First down, here's Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Battle for it here, and this will be caught. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Cousins again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Cousins pass Intended for Kyle Rudolph. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and goal.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now, Charles, we take a peek there at the recent draft class, and this definitely a year where they had a chance to greatly improve this team.
And you've got to take advantage when you have this type of an opportunity. 2 first-round picks, you better...
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. He'll try. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd and 3 from the 9.
And 3 at the 9-yard line.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
3rd down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Packers 10.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Incomplete, nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them. Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
This will be taken to the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
Cousins to throw it. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. I'll tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan?
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big pickup of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On the carry, it's Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Cousins. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
It's good, and it's 21-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. On 1st down, Rodgers throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
It's now 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again, Rodgers, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Yards to go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Rodgers to throw once more. The left side completion to Jones. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis.
Rodgers pass.
Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They'll go with Jones. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers' throw going to be caught by Funchess. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Lewis has it, the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
That's his target, the tight end Lewis. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Vikings able to recover. The Hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run for it with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Now Rodgers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw, Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and it's 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Valdez Scantling. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And This is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 27.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Cook. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?